after they were done with their work walking the scene, then I also walk the scene and look for tire mark evidence, vehicle damage, and other roadway evidence.
And so it's at first kind of a briefing to find out what it is that you know from the various different sources. It's a rather large briefing, is it not?
Yes, it is. Several people are involved.
And your this briefing, you said that your team, the fatal team, is a support function because the lead is done by homicide, and in particular Dan Long and Terry Nell.
In this case, yes.
And how many people constituted your team, the fatal Metro investigative team?
Our Sergeant Richard Strader, Detective Dave Freeman, Detective Salvatore, and Detective Solomon.
And so you three are the components of doing the accident portion of the global homicide investigation.
Correct.
And after you make the walkthrough, the briefing, the visual examination, crime scene analysts are memorializing the scene in many different ways, photography being one.
Correct.
And what is your kind of role in your team about assessing where you begin to conduct your investigation and measurements from this particular scene?
The final rest point of the vehicles, identifying the final rest point of the vehicles, we work the collision backwards from the final rest to its origin, identifying roadway evidence and markings on the roadway that correlate to the vehicles as they travel through the collision process. Also assessing the vehicle damage to see which parts of which vehicles contacted each other. During this process, once we figure out which roadway markings belong to which vehicles or whether or not they belong to the accident at all, we mark those that roadway evidence with small orange cones and colored spray paint. Then after we're complete doing that, in this case Detective Freeman used a survey device to get overall measurements of the scene and where the final rest points, places of the vehicles were, as well as our roadway evidence. We use two different devices to do this. They're both made by a company called Sokia. And basically what they do is plot this data, which I later download into a drawing program and create a scaled diagram of the collision scene.
And that's reflected in the ultimate work product that's generated from that process. I mean, our approach is States Exhibit 207. Sure. States Exhibit 207 that is in evidence. Let me just show you this. Is that what we're speaking of?
Yes.
I'll leave that with you. And in the photograph that's before the jury now, going back to States Exhibit number 4, is that from the items that you can see in that photograph, this is after several of those markings and measurements have occurred because of the nature of what you see on the asphalt. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And could you explain what we're looking at in the different colored portions of the northbound travel lanes of Las Vegas Boulevard?
Well, the different colors. Just above the area noted as AIC1, which stands for Area of Initial Contact Number 1. There's a short orange line with two cones. You can actually see the tire mark on each side of that orange line. That would be considered an over-deflection tire mark from a tire that's being depressed down in the roadway. The outside edges of the tire are pressing hard into the roadway and leaving that mark. These are the types of marks that we're looking for, and in this particular case, this was the first mark to be seen, and is depicting where the first impact was happening between the white Chevrolet truck, utility truck, and Maserati.
And that's actually the effect of downward forces on the tire from the collision, the impact.
Correct.